Joining us is two-time All-Star, center fielder for the Colorado Rockies, and we're looking at tonight's Game 1 of the World Series. And that would be the great Chuck Nasty, Charlie Blackmon. Charlie, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing really good. Really good.
Really good.
Like, even better than just good.
Even better.
Yeah.
So you were up early today. You're doing a little media tour. What does Charlie Blackmon, Chuck Nasty, eat or drink to get himself really good in the morning?
I ate some corned beef hash this morning.
Is that right?
I felt like that was the New York thing to do, so I had to do it.
And eggs?
And eggs, yes.
Okay. Over easy? Or
medium.
Medium?
Lots of coffee.
Okay. All right. Like a good New York diner?
It was a bistro diner thing. It was attached to the hotel.
Okay.
Really good toast. I would recommend it. Yeah, it was a good spot.
What makes a really good toast?
They brought out the jelly, and I didn't have to ask for it.
That's huge.
You know,
That
like
is
I don't
huge.
want to ask you for it. Just know that I need that.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. So a big breakfast is huge. And also, you know, you're on the road all the time as a baseball player. So do you earmark like, oh, this city, I want to go to this restaurant, or this hotel has really good food? Like, do you have to keep that in your mind when you go on the road?
I have a little mental checklist of places that I like to eat at each city. You know, let's see. In New York, the thing about it is like a place like New York, though.
Known for its toast.
Right. I'm not going somewhere for the toast. I'll usually try and go somewhere different just because there's so many good places.
Yeah. Speaking of toast, being an Atlanta guy, Waffle House toast, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Waffle House is my spot.
Okay, that's
so
your
don't
jam?
talk bad about my people.
I would never.
Okay.
I like Waffle House a lot.
Okay.
Sometimes my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and I try to eat like half of the laminated menu,
Right.
and then I feel like, you know, awful afterwards. But when it's going down, man, it's amazing.
So good.
So good. What's Charlie Blackmon's order at Waffle House?
I get the All-Star special.
Have to.
You know, like
Because
there's just
you're an all-star? Or did you order it before you were an all-star?
that's what got me to the top. You know, like you start thinking, ordering All-Stars, and maybe you'll become one.
I feel like you should get all-star breakfast on the house once you became the all-star.
You know what? I'm happy to buy the breakfast.
Yeah, because it's like $4. You know, Waffle House is the most affordable
Great
breakfast
prices.
ever.
Absolute great.
So what's amazing is that you actually faced Justin Verlander in his final start when he was with the Tigers. Right before he was traded to the Houston Astros, you guys faced him, and he had a pretty good day against you guys. 6 innings pitched, only 3 hits, 1 earned run, and struck out 9. That 1 earned run was your solo home run against Verlander. So what is the approach for a guy that just was a beast in the ALCS and is such an anchor for that rotation for the Astros?
That's a great question. There are going to be 9 guys trying to figure that out tonight. Personally, I felt like his spinny stuff, his breaking ball, his slider, whatever he chooses to throw, is very good. And if he throws it in a good spot, it's swing and miss stuff. So I expect guys to be aggressive to the fastball early in the count and try to avoid, 2-strike counts where you might have to deal with both a really good fastball or a nasty slider.
He was a guy that people wondered if he was losing his stuff because there was so much mileage on his arm because he was getting up there in years. And it seemed like he got rejuvenated toward the end of his run with the Tigers this season. And obviously with the Astros, he's been just thoroughly dominant. Have you seen other pitchers kind of go through that where it seems like their career sagging and then they get another jolt?
It was really impressive what he did to maintain and sustain that upper level velocity. And I kind of thought at one point that it looked like he was starting to decline. I don't want to sit up here and talk bad about him. He's always a great pitcher.
The stats were showing that.
And you just never know how long a guy can hold that. Like that's God-given, like that you can throw that hard. And it's usually just a matter of time before that starts to slow down. And good thing for him. And to his credit, he's figured out how to maintain that and even bring it back. And look where he is pitching in the World Series.
Charlie Blackmon joins us from the Colorado Rockies. What an interesting year it was for the National League West. You guys had 3 teams in the playoffs, and the Dodgers had this historically great start to the season. We thought they were going to be maybe the greatest team of all time statistically. Then they go through that crazy slump. And then they finish the season, and now in the playoffs, they look dominant again. When you guys faced them this year, what were you seeing for the Dodgers? They kind of had that roller coaster.
Well, They have really good pitching. They have great starting pitching, very good relief pitching. Their bullpen was one of the best in baseball this year, and I think that's the core of their team. That's the strength of their team. That's enabled them to be so good this year. I think they might have played a little bit better than any team should be able to play consistently.
Yeah,
and I think it just kind of caught up to them. They were going to have to regress a little bit back to something of more normal. You can't just go out there and win 130 games.
Yeah.
And they were on pace to do something crazy like that. And so I think that's, it looked like it evened out a little bit with that rough patch. But here they are. They're in the World Series. They've got everything going. They've made the playoffs look easy to this point. So I'm very excited to see how this series turns out.
Tonight, game number 1 of the World Series in Los Angeles. It's going to be almost 100 degrees at first pitch tonight. It's a huge heat wave in L.A. It's 102 during the day, 99 it looks like at first pitch. Can that affect tonight's game, do you think?
I think it will. Guys haven't played in heat. The Astros play indoors.
Yeah.
L.A. is generally very comfortable.
It's like 70 degrees almost every single day.
I think it's going to affect some guys. I think guys are going to be sweating more than they're used to sweating. I think the ball will carry a little better. If you see a ball just sneak out, especially early in the game, know that ball wouldn't normally get out on an average night. And the ball generally carries worse as the game goes on. So, I just wonder if that's not going to really change the tide of at least this one game if the ball just sneaks out.
Yeah. And Clayton Kershaw is a future Hall of Famer, but he didn't have great October moments. He finally got one of those great ones when they sewed up the NLCS in Chicago last series. You faced him nearly 50 at-bats now. When you face Clayton Kershaw, what's the book? What's the game plan? What's your approach?
I feel like you have to do less against him. You can't try and get too big. You can't try and hit for extra bases. You just have to see the ball, hit the ball, battle, try not to strike out. I hate to say that, but he's got such good stuff. You can't give away a strike. I think guys are going to be hacking early. I don't think they're going to just let him get ahead with fastballs early in the count. I don't expect that to be a very successful strategy against him.
One of my favorite stories of the off seasons in recent memory was when you ran out of gas on the highway. And one of your buddies takes the picture of you running out of gas on the highway and posts it to social media, and the world knows. Were you bummed out?
No, I actually was surprised that he caught that picture, and it was I think he really captured the moment. Like, it was so cold that day.
Just so people know, in Atlanta, you live and you work out in Atlanta. DJ LeMahieu's down there as well, second baseman, your teammate, and he captures the picture of you on the side of the highway, and with the gas can going on, the hoodie on, it's cold, and you just look like, get me out of here.
It was the worst. I mean, I was just on the shoulder of the interstate, on my way to the gym. I got my protein shake, I got my sweatpants on, and I was not expecting to be standing on the side of the road with cars going by 70 miles an hour. I was freezing. I was really just lucky that DJ would pick me up. So otherwise, I'd still be walking.
I think there's also a picture of the coffee cup on top of your car, which is like the classic, oh, I got to go out and try to fix this flat, or I ran out of gas. You always have that coffee or that soda or that, and you got to put it on top of the car.
Right.
That is like the white flag. Like, I need help.
Right.
Here.
And then you drive off and forget that it's up there. And
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about your facial hair and your normal hair, because this is amazing. I mean, for people that are not watching right now, you're making a mistake at watchda.com. You have to check this out because you have this amazing beard going on. How long is the beard been grown for?
It's been about 3 years now.
3 years. Did you make the conscious decision 3 years ago, I am not cutting this for anything? Or did you say, let me just see how this goes?
I initially I went on vacation, and it wasn't like I'm going to grow a beard. It was just, I'm not going to shave. And we'll just kind of see where that takes me. So I lowered my standards from a hygiene point of view, and here we are. I got a mullet. I got hair all over my face, and it makes eating soup quite difficult.
Do you have to shampoo the beard?
Well, I recently learned that shampoo is designed for hair. Facial hair is different.
Who knew?
We'll say pH has a different pH.
Okay.
And so there, there's special face beard wash for that kind of thing.
All right. So you got different beard wash. And so then you have the long hair in the back, very mullet-ish, but it's not really a party up. It's not really a party in the back and business up front. It's like a nice kind of cropped haircut up front, but then shaved on the side. So how did you come up with that combination?
Well, this is a mullet. I mean, that's what it is. It's just not like an 80s mullet. So so I don't have like the bangs and like the teased up top. Like it's not like the Mel Gibson or like achy breaky heart kind of stuff. It's more of it's more of just the, like, we'll call it the modern mullet. How about that?
So how did you end up with the modern mullet? I think it's working for you personally.
Honestly, I think it looks good.
I do too.
Like, I think I'm a good looking specimen right now.
There's not many guys that can pull it off. There's not many guys,
for good reason. It's I don't know why. I just felt like I had to go for it.
Yeah.
Like I like mullets, and I just went for it.
I like the quote, I like mullets.
Yeah. I like mullets.
Frankly, I like mullets. I'm a big mullet guy. So how long have you been growing the hair in the back?
I started last year. I started growing the mullet, and it's been, I guess now 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
And it's pretty majestic now. It's mullety. I need some more mullet adjectives. Like I need to, like, more descriptive terms. Majestic. The alliteration is palpable. The majestic mullet.
Yeah. Yeah. Rocky center fielder Charlie Blackmon joins us here in studio ahead of tonight's Game 1 of the World Series. You're a big trout fisherman too, right?
I love that stuff.
Yeah. Are you a fly fisherman?
Yes.
Okay. Where's your favorite spot?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Is it in Atlanta? Or around Atlanta?
You want to hear a story?
Yeah.
I'll make it really short.
Give me a good fish story.
There's not a lot of great trout fishing like right in Atlanta, but there is one river. It's it's kind of been my nemesis. I haven't figured it out. And so I spent all summer in Colorado, like in the Rocky Mountains, which is a very, very good place for rivers and trout fishing. And so I bring all this knowledge back to Atlanta, and I'm fishing. I catch a couple dinkers, and I hook a really, really nice fish the other day in Atlanta. It would have been the biggest fish I caught in the state.
Really?
For me.
Yeah.
Not like, but yeah, everybody.
Personal record.
It would have been a really big deal for me, and I got a little overzealous. I started counting my chickens before they hatch.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll say, like, mentally I went to that place where I started thinking about how big this fish is, and then I lost it. It got away. I got a whole bunch of excuses I'm not going to bore you with, but I think that's that's just a taste, kind of like our season this year, just a taste of the playoffs, and now it leaves me wanting more.
Yeah, I know. Did you play fishing video games growing up, or in bars or anything like that? I used to play black bass on the old Nintendo, and I used to love that, and I grew up fishing with my dad as well.
I had a video game growing up, but there's nothing like the real thing.
No, there isn't.
So I would prefer the real thing over that.
2 years ago, I'm sure you know this, but you did get a share of an MVP vote.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you did know that though, right?
Last year.
Yes.
No, yeah. Yes.
2016. So do you know who voted for you in the MVP race?
Last year?
Yeah.
I think it. Yeah, I think I know who it is.
Okay. Okay.
And
because I'm saying, if anybody ever voted for me in the MVP, I'd want to know who that is.
I know
I'd be
who
like,
it is.
Dude, thanks so much.
They get special treatment.
Absolutely.
Well, it's. I don't want to say I treat people differently, but if you vote for me for MVP, like we're gonna be friends for sure.
I would feel the same exact way. I'd be like, this is awesome. I'm MVP. Vote in your mind. If I'm an MVP, man, how long do you need? What's the one-on-one time you need?
Yeah.
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 That's happening.
It's got to happen. Hey, you guys made the playoffs. What a great run by the franchise. I think unexpected, but it shows how good that young core is, man. You guys got a bright future with Colorado.
I'm excited. We've got some really good players. I think we're well positioned for a while.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, watching Nolan Arenado on a daily basis is just ridiculous. And it seems like you guys really liked one another throughout this entire season. There was just a lot of fun in the ballpark and in the locker room and the clubhouse. Seemed like you guys really bonded well.
Yeah, he's a great kid. I enjoy being around him, and he really spoils me with how good he is, especially defensively. That it's just a pleasure to watch.
Nolan Arenado and the Colorado Rockies made the playoffs. They obviously didn't get out of that first game wild card, but that's where we are right now, looking ahead to the World Series tonight, as we've got Game 1 of the Fall Classic at Chavez Ravine, a historic, iconic ballpark for the Fall Classic to be held at. Charlie Blackmon, two-time All-Star with the Colorado Rockies, joining us in studio. Follow him on Twitter at Chuck_Nasty. This was a lot of fun, dude. Go enjoy more toast.
Thanks, D. I appreciate you having me.
Charlie Blackmon joining us in studio.